We are all aware that there have been changes to the care worker route as announced by the UK government on July 1st, 2025. And I've had a couple of questions from people privately regarding this care route, and I thought I should make another video specifically addressing some of these concerns, because in as much as it may sound like good news for the government to say you can still switch into the care visa inside the UK, there is a big catch. And this changes everything to an extent that if you're not careful, this rule could make you lose your current visa. You either get your visa refused or you can become an overstayer without realizing it. So today I'll be breaking down what the new statement of change actually says. Some of us are already aware of what it is, but we'll be breaking it down in bits. Remember, in my previous video, we just covered like the major headlines. We didn't go into the actual detail of it. But today, just for clarity purposes, we'll go into the actual detail of it. And we'll also be talking about who this new rule actually benefits and the people that have been locked out, unfortunately, from this rule. So you don't become an overstayer because you've misunderstood it. So stay tuned. Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Evelyn, and if you're seeing me for the very first time on this channel, I make videos about UK generally, living here, working here, and everything in between. And if this kind of content interests you, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any video from this channel. Drop your questions in the comment section. I'll be reading and answering to the best of my knowledge as well. So let's get right into today's video without wasting any more time. Truth be told, it is very easy to misunderstand the UK immigration rules or changes that have been made, because sometimes it is not written in proper black and white. It is not very clear. And it says one thing here and says the same thing in another way here, which can be very confusing. And also you go on social media and one person is saying one thing, another person is saying another thing, and you end up getting more confused. Very understandable. I've been there severally. I watch this person's video, this person understands it in this way and explains it the way she understands. Another person is explaining it the way they also understand. And eventually you're left more confused than ever before. But I'll tell you what to do with regards to this confusion towards the end of the video. So let's first of all just deal with today's matter, okay? So at the moment, the UK government has allowed a transition period until 2028 for people who want to switch into care roles. Now, with regards these changes, there are two main documents that I was looking at. One is the statement of change itself, and another thing is the explanatory memorandum. The explanatory memorandum gives you an, I will call it a layman's explanation for this statement of changes. It's more like a summary of this 138-page document. The 138-page document of the statement of change comprises of everything, every tiny detail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything, comma, full stop is there. But the explanatory memorandum, like I said, is just a summary and gives you a layman's explanation. But that is where my problem is, and I'll show you why. Let me read the only people that are qualified for this to be carers or to apply for carers and senior carers using the statement of change. It says the applicant must have been legally working for the sponsor in one of these SOC 2020 occupation codes for at least the 3 months ending on the date the certificate of sponsorship was issued by sponsor to the applicant. And the date of application must be before July 22nd, 2028. Or the applicant must have permission as a skilled worker sponsored in either of these SOE 2020 occupation codes or the SOC 2010 occupation codes. Remember, the codes for carers and senior carers used to be 6145 and 6146. Now, the SOC 2020 code changed that to 6136 and 6135, or 6135, 6136, respectively. If I want to use my layman's brain to understand one of these criteria to have a care worker visa now, I would like to understand it that, say you're switching from another care home to another care home, you don't need to work for the new care home for 3 months before they issue you the COS. So you qualify to apply for a care worker visa if you're legally working for your sponsor for at least 3 months, ending on the date your COS was issued, or you previously had permission under the health and care worker visa in the same occupation codes, carers, care workers, and senior care workers. Those are the only two conditions in which you are allowed to get a care worker visa inside the UK. Now, there's a paragraph that says, except that where paragraph 39E applies, that period of overstaying will be disregarded. So there's a clause that is attached to those that are switching sponsors, the clause that would disregard your period of overstaying. And I will display on the screen what paragraph 39E says, and at what point your period of overstaying will be regarded. I am bringing this up because I will say something ahead concerning overstaying, hence the reason for this video today. After reading all of this, if you come to the explanatory memorandum that actually gives us an explanation of all this plenty grammar, it says the changes also provide for in-country applications for those switching from other visa routes to continue for a transition period until 22nd July 2028, at which point these occupations will be removed from the immigration salary list or temporary shortage list. If you read this, you understand it differently. To say that you can switch from other visa routes. Other visa routes are plenty. It can be anything. But then the statement of change itself says you can switch if you have been on a skilled worker visa in the same category as this, like the care, in the same category. If you have had a care worker visa as a carer and a senior carer, that's when you can switch. Or if you've been legally working for your sponsor for at least 3 months. So I would like to say here that at this point that the people that will benefit from these rules will mostly be either students or those on graduate visas or dependents of visa holders. Why am I saying so? That is, if you are under the category A, those that will have to work for 3 months, those are the people that would benefit from that, because you will have time as a student. Normally you have allowances to work for 20 hours. Okay, you can use the time, if you can apply for a part-time employment in any care home of your choice or any place that you think will give you this sponsorship, and you work part-time for them for 3 months and cover your 20 hours a week. So you can do that and still be able to prove that you have worked with this employer for 3 months, and you have to be consistent. Anyway, some part-time employment, you have to be, it's not like bank that you choose to go when you like. Some part-time employments give you specific hours that you must accomplish in a week. So, or dependents or family holders, those people have like freedom to work as much as they can. They can easily fall under category A. So the overstaying part I mentioned is you cannot now be a skilled worker in another occupation code following what I have read here, because remember the people that are qualified for care worker. I'm not going to repeat it. I said it at the beginning. To either fall under category A or category B. Aside that, I don't think you can apply for a care worker, because the explanatory memorandum is quite confusing. It says from other visa routes. So if you read only that, you can just think that, okay, if I'm a skilled worker, fine, I can switch. Like a skilled worker in another occupation code, you would think you can just switch, but you can't. Okay. Or even if you're on code 6131, nothing auxiliaries and all that, 6131 is different from the occupation code listed as being eligible to switch to this visa category. And if you try to switch from, make the mistake of wanting to switch from maybe a 6131 or any other skilled worker visa to this one, confusing yourself that you have to work 3 months before getting a COS, you end up risking overstaying, because you cannot leave your current employer just to go and work 3 months for the other employer to gain a COS. You will overstay your visa, because even in the immigration rules 39E, it's only 14 days that they can give you from when your other visa expires or when you had the last refusal or rejection. And it's not a guarantee. It's up to your caseworker to determine that. In all, I would say that with these current immigration rules and changes, to be on the safe side, It's good to listen to social media. It's good to listen to all of these videos. But if you want to make your applications and you are unsure of anything, please involve the services of immigration lawyers. It will save you a lot of stress. They will tell these people have a better understanding of these changes. Sometimes if you even check their channel, they don't say everything. There are some immigration lawyers I actually follow, and they won't spill everything on their YouTube videos or wherever videos. They give you they give you things here and there, but just very shallow. Obviously, you have to pay for their services. So involve services of immigration lawyers to avoid a refusal. Because right now, if there's a refusal or a rejection, trust me, there will be no mercy. So involve these people and they'll be able to act on your behalf and direct you properly on your visa applications. So yeah, these laws sometimes I just feel like they are a mini trap to make you make mistakes, but be wise. Involve services of immigration lawyers. And if you're overseas watching me right now, don't let anyone, I mean anyone deceive you. From 22nd of July, this route is closed to new entrants. 22nd of July 2025. I'm not talking of 2028. It closes at 2028 for people that want to do in-country switching. Okay, so don't pay anybody money for jobs. You will be scammed. You come here, you not get jobs. And in fact, this is one of the reasons this route has been closed, because of the abuse that has happened in this route. There is always, I've made a video on this channel about how to get proper healthcare jobs. There are channels of reporting these people. Okay, there are ways to find people that have been licensed to sponsor. The videos are all there. Wishing you all the best till I see you in my next video. Bye for now.